Coming live
Hi.
from under the bunk bed.
Live from the bunk.
Glow in the dark stars in the background and all. The whole shebang.
The whole thing.
Because, guys, here's the thing. We have to work around Ashley's schedule and her travel, and just it's one of those things where I'm so adaptable and helpful and agreeable that the onus is on me to make this thing okay. Well, she said from under the bunk bed. I can't with this currently. Anyway.
Hey guys, welcome.
You don't do that. See?
Well,
you're
not doing it though, so
give me a second. It's called tension and release. It's called building drama. The people have to be sitting at home going, what bunk bed? Where is bunk bed? Is she in a bunker?
Log on to YouTube, guys, and find out.
Listen, you're fake news. You're fake news.
Hey guys, welcome to Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. I'm Brandon Burrell. I'm one half of Cold Hands, Warm Hearts podcasting duo.
Somebody's been playing in the sound effects closet.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Ashley Engle. I'm the other half. Welcome to episode 129 of the Cold Hands, Warm Hearts podcast. Yes, I'm coming to you live from the bottom bunk of the lake house.
When you're on the remote, you smile like a News 9 reporter on the graveyard shift, just trying to keep it together.
I go right back to my days at Channel 5.
You do. You have not smiled that big in the same room as me, even the once. Yeah, but you look like you're about to unhinge your jaw like a python and just devour something.
Yeah, old habits die hard, guys, and I'm flashing back to my days at Channel 5, KOCO. This I thought would be the deadest sound place in the house because, you got the mattress above,
Sure.
mattress below, pillows encasing, and this is probably the quietest room because there's a carpet on the floor in here. Everywhere else is pretty echoey, so hopefully the sound is working okay, guys.
You sound fine.
Okay.
Listen, people come here for a few things.
Okay.
They come here for insightful political commentary.
So much.
They come here for the occasional laugh.
Yeah.
And biceps. They come here for glistening biceps and also a fourth one for washboard abs. And I'm here delivering all of these things. What have you done lately for our listeners?
I'll tell you what they don't come here for is suppository talk. And that was way too much last time. And people even commented on it, okay?
Yeah.
We have some
The
listeners.
streets are buzzing. The streets are buzzing about suppository talk. And here's the problem. Do you want to know what you just did? You just you let that genie back out the bottle. Here we were. We had put the suppository away, so to speak, but now toothpaste is out of the tube again, and this is going to be a whole nother suppository episode.
Let's not do any suppository talk, okay, Pumpkin? Because last time was too much, and I think people are turning. I think people are turning it off right now because they're like, "Here we go again."
Suppository. I think that these people tune in for this kind of talk. They don't tune in for. Okay, no. Here's what it is. They don't tune in for suppository talk. They tune in for your reaction to suppository talk.
Probably.
And this is what
trying to just keep us on the rails, and it's getting increasingly more difficult by the day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
25's my year. 25 is going to be my year. You don't even know.
We'll see. What you been up
Ben, Ben, who's sitting over here.
Hi, Ben.
She says, "Hi, Ben." I exist was his response, and I don't understand.
You exist in my heart, buddy.
Fake news.
But he demanded that we have 3 different sound effects available. And,
I love it.
And so I've already used 2 of them because I have zero self-control.
These sound effects brought to you by our sound effects sponsor, Sweet D. Thank you, Ben, for reminding us. That one's so good.
Dude, the best thing about that one is I had it in my closet back behind me, which if I were to open it and show you, I KonMari'd that the other day.
Hey.
And I only things that spark joy in there.
So it's all sound effects now.
Yeah, that's it. It's all it is. I got rid of everything. Everything is just sound effects. No, but it had somehow fallen underneath like a pile of papers or something in there. Yeah. And when I was cleaning the closet out, I was rummaging around, getting some stuff to clean it up, and I accidentally bumped it. And in a dark closet, when you don't expect to hear, it was the most terrifying thing that has ever happened to me. Thanks, Dee.
Thanks, Dee. So, as you can tell, things are a little bit out of the ordinary. I'm in a bunk bed. Ben is joining us. That's because it's Thanksgiving break week, guys. And where we live, the kids get a full week off school, which is so nice. Yeah. So we came to the lake for a couple days, and it's just kind of a different looking week. But what you been up to, Brandon?
I just got back from driving to Lawton to take pictures of a building.
We have people in Lawton. Some of our people are there. But
I didn't have time to see them because I had to rush back to do whatever this is. And
worth it.
And I'm sorry, guys. I had a whole thing. I had a whole like potluck planned. We were going to have a whole get together. It was going to be awesome, but nope. I got to come here, chop it up with you.
That's a drive to make to be back by this time go and come back.
I had to go to the office in the morning, and then I had to go to Lawton and then back. So it was a 3-hour round trip. I did a 3-hour round trip. I listened to almost an entire podcast about the band Blur.
All right.
It's pretty interesting.
Nice. Yeah. What have you been up to this week? I know that you had a gig that you played Friendsgiving at Carlton Landing. How was that?
It was great. Listen, here's the thing. I'm not going to say I was dreading it, not because of the gig itself.
Right, but I know what you're going to say.
Right. In the weeks leading up to it, I started to get anxiety because there is nothing worse for me than being in front of a crowd of people expecting me to be able to, do the thing I'm getting paid money to do physically. And having my hands get so cold that they shut down, and I'm up here just farting out root notes, just bleh, bleh. And I was worried, I was stressed, and the whole time up to it, I literally considered, like, should I go to Walmart and purchase this, like, a portable space heater and just put it on a stool in front of me?
Yeah.
Didn't do it, but what I did do is, and also last minute I found out that it was down by the water. It was, like, by the water, so it's like, oh, cool. It's going to be cold, and there's going to be some nice little breeze coming off the water. But no, I got some fingerless gloves, and instead of just having, because you need your fingertips to do the Gortar, but instead of keeping the hot hands packets thingies in my pockets, I just stuffed them in the gloves. And so I'm sitting here, hands looking like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, just chunking along. But I'll tell you what, every time I would stop playing, I would just make a fist on it, and then I would open it back up. Not a single issue. I think we've hacked it. I think now the 2 to 3 months out of the year that Brandon would decline gigs just because I can't do it, they're open, baby. So hit me up.
For your holiday gatherings.
For all your holiday gatherings. I know one Christmas song, and I'll play it on a loop. And it's fine. It's going to be fine.
That's good, because I feel anxiety for you when you take those gigs.
Oh, listen.
I do think a portable heater would not be a bad idea. Like a little propane guy.
But this worked, and that
we
looks
have one you could borrow.
Here comes Brandon. I already have cymbals strapped to my knees. I've got a harmonica on my face, and I've got a big bass drum on my back with with sticks right there. So I'm doing the chicken
one-man band.
Here he comes, and also on top of it, just one extra thing. It's untenable. A heater. Who brings the heater?
You do.
Listen, book me for all your holiday gatherings, even for your New Year's Eve. Previously, I was just a ball of all anxiety, but now, now here he comes. He's ready to go, usher in the new year, Millennium style.
Well, that's wonderful, and it looked like an absolutely beautiful gathering. Long farm tables. Kith and kin. They gave me delicious food.
They gave me coasters, branded coasters. Kith and kin and coasters. Carlton Landing. Here, as I was leaving, they were like, "Do you want some coasters? They're just going to get thrown away if people don't take them." And I said, "Yes." And they said, "How many?" And I said, "A set of 4, please and thank you." And so now I've got my coasters.
Yeah, you do.
And they sent me with a Kenny Rogers roaster. It was a nice catered chicken, but it rhymes with coasters. But
nice.
Yeah, I was so hungry, and so they made me a plate, and so I just ate it off the leg like Fred Flintstone on the drive, like an absolute garbage person. I left this beautiful event, all of these people sitting, proper table manners, pass the bread, these types of people. I finish playing, and then I get in the car, and then I just go straight to the head with a chicken leg as I'm driving out of Carlton Landing. So long.
So long. Well, I'm so glad you got to do that, and it seemed like an absolutely beautiful event. And I love that you get to play there, and you're always welcome to stay here if you need to.
Well, I had to get back because we had Thanksgiving the next day. Here's what I will say. Gigs are all different shapes and sizes and types, and these people at this one, the people who booked me specifically, are very sweet people. So it's nice to go out and play. And saw a family friend, Steve, out there, and he sent me some. He was busy hobnobbing because he's a very important man out in these parts. He's got to talk to the people. And but after the day after, he sent me a really sweet text message about the gig and stuff. And he's a fellow musician, so it's very complimentary. He gets it. He gets it. My guy gets it.
Yeah, he does. Well, we'll get to family Thanksgiving in just a minute. Did anything else happen last week that you need to fill us in on?
I mean, as of yesterday, we have found and destroyed every single Horcrux, and all is well in the wizarding world. So that's been a big push in my life.
Speaking of destroying, you mentioned some mice, though.
Okay, we'll backtrack. I would not. I can't destroy a mouse because I have mouse trauma.
You have mouse trauma.
I have historical mouse trauma, and I can't listen. I wake up screaming once a week about my mouse trauma. No, I find out there's a mouse in my house.
Yeah, it happens.
And I don't panic because I've lived in squalor before. I know what it's like.
Brandon's house in college, guys, was infested.
Mice used to just run across my legs when I slept on my mattress on the floor. No box springs.
That's not okay. Now, part of that,
it
was an older home. Part of that was that you chose to sleep on the floor.
I'm the rat king, baby. Here's the thing. No box spring. I just need a mattress on the floor. I need my DVDs behind me on a shelf so I can grab them. Actually, they were VHSs, most of them. Grab them. I need my TV so I lost the remote, so I needed to be able to put it in and then change the channels and the volume with my toes so I could control the TV with my feet. That's how close the TV was to the foot of my bed. I could grab my DVDs and VHSs here. I had a shelf over here for food, probably why I had mice. And I had a whole host of rodent friends and family. And every year Mom used to get us the Lifesavers storybook, and I'd put it in a drawer and forget about it, and they feasted.
The Lifesavers storybook. Do you remember that, guys? Where it looked like a Christmas book and you'd open it up and it'd be all the little rolls of Lifesavers. Yeah. What was the best flavor in there? Go.
Rat poison.
No, it was the pineapple.
Pineapple. Yeah. It was like a pina colada.
They were white.
Well, I'll tell you guys this. If you want a Yuletide rodent, all you need to do is stuff your undies drawer with Lifesavers storybooks, and it is going to be Ratatouille up in this bill. It's going to be a whole family.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened.
That's the source of your mouse trauma, but you have one in your house now. So tell the people what you did, because Lindsay was upset.
Well, I don't have one in my house now.
Lindsay does not coexist with mice in the way that you do.
I don't coexist. I rule over. I give out marching orders. I say go forth and retrieve. And that's
the Nutcracker, the rat prince or whatever, based on you.
Yeah, well, I don't like to put that out there. It's not on my CV, so to speak. But it's not in
your LinkedIn.
No, just because it's like I don't want to brag.
Right.
But listen, I don't have a mouse. I had a mouse, and here's what happened. Okay. Mouse shows up. People in the house panic because, come on, guys, act like you've been here before. This ain't the Super Bowl. This is a preseason game. One mouse. Come on, guys. I've been carried from room to room. Listen, so there's a mouse, And Ben freaks out and goes, "There's a mouse in the house!" Ah! Runs out. And Lindsay's like, "No!" Ah! And I go, "Hey,
I got this."
Let me talk to him.
And you got out your little pipe.
Because whatever the equivalent of parcel tongue is for mice, this guy, it's squeak squeak 'em. And I go in there. I see that, you know, there's not a mouse, but there's evidence of a mouse.
If you know what I mean.
So to speak. And so I go,
what?
I don't know. I'm not trying to say Dookie. I'm not trying to like take it to there.
Okay, because you never do that.
Reverse suppositories made of poop. Anyways, here's the thing.
Guys,
so immediately everyone gets online, starts Googling mouse solutions. Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, one thing I abide is a glue trap. It's inhumane and I can't deal with it. I know. And I won't deal with it. And so I say
One time in our first home, we caught a mouse on a glue trap, and I made Jeff peel it off.
Yeah, which is a horrible.
Peel it off the glue trap and let it go in the flower bed. And you know what happened to it? It got
stuck to everything else.
Flower bed mulch all over his feet. Yeah. Probably just slowed him down for a predator.
And he's like huge now. It's like he's like a porcupine, but he's really just a mouse lugging around mulch.
I felt so terrible, but we tried to let him free.
I know, but that's the thing. That's why I cannot even start with a glue trap, because it's just so inhumane. So I said, I will not. I said, let us find a humane solution to this problem. Yeah. So what we did was we found, they're called mouse motels.
Yeah, they are.
Which already on the surface gives me the warm fuzzies, because I'm picturing him. Free HBO.
Yeah, continental breakfast.
Come on. Hard boiled and a waffle bar. Here he comes, free HBO and air conditioning, coldest in town. A pool,
in his robe,
half full pool with leaves all in it, but he doesn't care. He doesn't mind, right? He's slobbing around in his complimentary slippies, right? I'm picturing him with the Schitt's Creek people. Here he is in his mouse motel, right? Yes. Instead of stuck to a glue trap, carrying mulch with him everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
So I take an organic Kirkland peanut butter. Sponsor us, Kirkland. Because listen, if we're going humane, I'm not going to give him Jif. I'm not going to give him Peeger Pang. I'm not going to give him, and it can't be crunchy because it can't fit in the mouse motel appropriately. So I get an unmixed organic Kirkland PB, and then I mix it in
peanut butter. We currently are working on some of that too.
And so I take it. I mix it nice and good for the guy. I pop it in the little bait area of the mouse motel, or I pop it in the continental breakfast nook of the mouse motel. Drop it in there. It's there 15 minutes. And then we hear, and then it's like, there's a mouse in there. Go back there. And he's not even scared. He's in the mouse motel just feasting on organic Kirkland peanut butter. He's fine. He's on a staycation right now. Yeah. Right. And so I pick him up and I hold him up to Ben. I say, here's the mouse you were so scared of. And Ben's immediate response was, he's just a little guy. And I said, I know, he's just a little guy. And I said, saddle up, partner. We're going to go take this little guy to a safe place and we're going to let him out into the world. We drove a few miles away. We found a nice bit of tall grass and we said, via con Dios, buddy. And he and off he goes. An American tail. Fievel goes down the street.
Yeah.
And off he goes. No glue, no fuss, no muss. And
belly
here he is.
Full of peanut butter.
Belly full of peanut butter and off to get eaten by a hawk probably. But but I washed my hands clean of it the minute I took him out of the mouse motel. Checkout time, big guy. Checkout time.
Oh, so is the mouse motel...
Strip the linens. Strip the linens. Because it's time for you to go to Hawk City.
Time for another guest.
We have a bunch
reusable?
Oh, yeah, they're reusable. And it comes in a 4-pack. You want one?
Sure. I don't have a mouse currently.
You've got peanut butter.
I do have peanut butter.
So
we haven't had any mice. I don't think we've ever seen a mouse in our current home. We have dealt with mice in previous homes. We've dealt with squirrels. I'll tell you what we've dealt with in this home. Lizards in the house.
I can literally show you a picture of me the next day after Mousegate, let me scroll here.
Okay.
I caught a lizard in my office.
What in the world?
He had come in, and well, I'll have to find the picture, but he literally had come into the house, and I saw him zip zapping around, and I literally walked up to him, and I didn't even move fast. I just went, and he just didn't move, and I picked him up, and I just took him back outside, and he's back out there now.
You know, because you have Lizard Town by your front porch. Every time I walk up there, they skitter everywhere. Wow, I've never been able to catch them. Jeff has caught them in our home before. They're the little skinks.
Skinks.
Anyway, wow. Okay. So, that's good to know, guys. Sponsor us, Mouse Motel. So this past week was fairly standard for us. I thought you would find this funny. I set out on my walk the other day, my dumb mental health walks that I take.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened up Apple Music because, yes, I use Apple Music. It's for old people, I know. But the first...
I wouldn't say it's for old people. It's good. It's just, I think Spotify is better.
Sponsor us, Apple Music.
Yeah, it's fine. I just prefer... I think the reason is because Spotify was the first mover, and I started with Spotify way back then, and I don't like change. So I'm Spotify. Anyway, you opened up Apple Music.
I was Spotify, and then at one time AT&T offered me free Apple Music for a long time, and I've just never gone back.
There you go.
Okay, so I opened it up, and the first screen I saw said Ashley's Station by Apple Music, and they just kind of curate stuff based on what you like.
Sure.
Yeah, I know Spotify does this too. I will give you 1,000 theoretical dollars if you can guess the first song on Ashley's Station. Just a wild guess.
Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
No.
Oh, okay. Baby Baby by Amy Grant.
No. Great guess, though.
Hold On by Wilson Phillips.
No. Tubthumping by Chumbawamba.
That's awesome. I mean, you do get knocked down, but you get up again. I mean, listen.
What in the world?
You are constantly talking about Chumbawamba. It's
Am I?
It's a
Did
thing
they do
about
any
you.
other songs?
Yes, but none that popped off like this. They're actually, strangely enough, I listened to a podcast about Chumbawamba a while ago.
Did.
They are a very politically savvy driven band. Like that's what their whole thing was. And then they just happened to put tub thumping out in the world and it exploded. And then they spent the rest of their career trying to derail their tub thumping fame. They don't have any money now because they performed all for free and gave all their money away to political causes. Chumbawamba is actually pretty awesome. Not at music, but like
sponsor us, Chumbawamba.
Yeah, well, but
they can't.
They can't because they already sponsored everything that they could. Chumbawamba out here doing the big work. Chumbawamba.
Yeah, and apparently a favorite of mine, according to Apple Music algorithm.
No, the favorite of yours, leading off with it. Chumbawamba.
I know. On
Dude,
Wednesday
is Mambo
night,
number 5 on there? Is Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die? What's this list?
I hope so.
Apple Music.
You know what it is? 1,000%. It's because I still have my 20-year high school reunion playlist in there, and so.
The algorithm. The algorithm. Mm-hmm.
So on Wednesday, we do this thing at youth group every quarter or so called Breaking Bread, where they bring in a speaker from, I don't know, all kinds of places, and then we feed the kids. And this week was Maggie Hudson. She is from City Care. Do you know much about City Care in Oklahoma City?
I'm going to attempt to seem like I do. Are they the organization that provides like clothing, shelter, supplies, things to unhoused people around the city?
They do. That's part of what they do. Yeah.
Dude, I know about causes. I'm a regular Chumbawamba over here. I'm tub thumping in a very charitable way.
Yes. They support our neighbors in Oklahoma City who are experiencing or transitioning from homelessness.
Sure.
And they're an amazing organization. And the kids were so respectful and had the most thoughtful questions. I was so proud of them. But one of the major things she taught us, and I thought I would pass this on to the listeners today, and some of you probably already know this, but she said that they really encourage people not to label people who are experiencing homelessness with the word homeless, just to not say, oh, he's homeless or she's homeless.
Sure.
The proper and more dignified way to address someone would be someone who's experiencing homelessness, right? They're going through something difficult in their lives.
Where are we at on unhoused? I thought unhoused was acceptable.
I think it may still be. This is the way she chose to talk about it, and the way I think City Care chooses people who are experiencing homelessness.
That makes sense.
But get this, she said this, and I thought this was fascinating. She asked the students, what do you think the main reason that people end up seeking services from City Care? Or in other words, what do you think the main reason is for people to experience homelessness?
Here's my guess. I think that the knee-jerk reaction everyone goes to is drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
I think that is potentially a byproduct. I think it's probably mental health or mental illness.
Okay. So those were definitely things that she talked about as being byproducts, as you say, or even causes in some cases.
Sure.
But she said the number one reason people end up seeking care from City Care, seeking services, is, she called it, lack of relational margin.
Okay.
And so she said, she was talking to the students. She said, think about the people in your life right now that if you went through a tough time,
they would pick you up and make sure that you
who
were
could help
okay.
you.
Yeah.
Or if something happened to your home,
sure,
who could you stay with?
Sure.
You know? And so she said that's the number one thing.
Not you.
Me?
No, I said not you.
No, not me.
You're not first. You're not first on my list. You're not Chumbawamba. You're way down.
Here, Hold On by Wilson Phillips.
I wish.
I just found that so interesting. Do what?
I said I wish I was Hold On by Wilson Phillips.
Yeah.
I would be beloved.
I guarantee you that if I get into my station, that's on there. But anyway, I just found that so interesting because she said a lot of times they'll have people who have just moved to the city to stay with a relative who is ill, for example, and then that relative passes away.
Yeah.
Suddenly, people find themselves in this new place with nowhere to go, with no one to stay with. And so she said a lot of people who come to see them in their night shelter have jobs. Like she said the other day, they had a gentleman come in who, was getting up for work each day, but he was experiencing homelessness because his landlord had failed to file some permits or something. And so suddenly he had no place.
And then he just, and just because he, for lack of a better term, didn't have an adequate support system handy, he didn't have somewhere to go.
That's it.
Ugh.
And so you just never know, what people are going through. And I keep thinking about it this week. Like, what an absolutely incredible organization City Care is. So local people, if you are looking for a place to donate to this holiday or to volunteer with, might I recommend City Care, because they are doing incredible things in Oklahoma City and continuing to do incredible things. And our church partners with them often, and I just love Maggie. I think she is incredible, and I love whenever she comes to see us. But I just learned so much more.
Yeah.
And I've heard her speak before.
That's great. That's interesting. And like, I've never considered it that way. I mean, obviously I feel like it's not a soft spot, but I feel very like empathetic anytime I see a person experiencing homelessness or anything like that. And like, if I have like a way to help or whatever, I always feel compelled to do that. But it's interesting to think about it through that lens. I've never thought about it in terms of like, just like truly something as simple as just not having a support system is the main cause. That it makes perfect sense, but that's interesting to think about.
Yeah, it really is. So maybe think about that the next time you guys see somebody experiencing homelessness, guys. Okay, I feel like I'm a bit early this year with all of my Christmas preparations, but Yeah.
Tee it up.
Tee it up. You've been hanging on to it because you knew I would talk about it.
Yeah.
But Jeff is going to be out for a week or so in Christmas, and I just wanted him to get to experience it as much as he can. So we put up the tree this weekend. Yours is up.
I'm not here to judge. Our tree's up, yeah. As of today.
Nice. Decorated and all?
I just put the star on it.
Oh.
And that's it. And that's all I did. I showed up and it was done. And then I was like, let me put the finishing touches on this. Hold my beer. I'm going to finish this thing. That's
right.
That's
You've got long arms, Brandon. Put this on here.
Long, muscular, strong.
That's why people come here.
Glistening. That's why people come to the show.
Yeah.
Mouse chatter.
Yeah.
Strong. Advice on how to humanely get rid of a mouse.
Yeah, that's it. I've been trying to get my Christmas shopping done early.
What'd you get me
this year? I'm pretty excited about a couple of the things that I've purchased for you. I'm excited about them.
Me too.
And you better be nice about them.
Oh, they're gonna suck, huh?
Even if you hate them, you have to act excited. Okay?
Here's the thing, guys. I cannot hide my disappointment on Christmas morning. I come into the room like I'm shot out of a Yuletide cannon. I come in there like just a ball of joy. And if you steal my joy on Christmas morning, if you steal my joy with bunk gifts,
yeah, to the mouse motel with you.
Well, that's too humane. That's too
You don't
humane.
Want to know what I'm going to do with you. Straight to Hawktown.
I'm literally currently making a human-sized glue trap in the garage. I've got that baby framed up. I just got to go get some industrial wood glue and just slather it in there. Oh.
And you'll put it in Mom and Dad's kitchen. And so when present time comes, if you hate your gifts, you'll be like, Ashley, can you go in the kitchen and get me another cup of coffee?
And fetch me some peanut butter. It's organic.
And I'll just walk across.
Have some. What's this? Mom, Dad, did you redecorate? What is this little glue trough that you have in the center of your floor? Well, I got to walk through it to get to the peanut butter. What am I going to do? Not get peanut butter? It's organic.
It's Kirkland's.
And then we spend the rest of Christmas just opening gifts, and then you from the other room are just, help. I'm stuck. I'm in the glue trap. Ah.
I end up having to shave my head.
Half of your head, and in the Christmas photo, you've just got dried glue down one half of your face, and you've got the half of your head shaved.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
But you got some peanut butter out of the deal, so it's all good. You're here just
Oh, okay. So as you mentioned, we had Birdwell Engle family Thanksgiving on Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Crindy really outdid herself per usual. She handles the bulk of it. We did bring a few things. Well, like I've said, because this falls around my birthday, I'm always told to just bring myself, because we kind of do my birthday as part of this too. But then I feel guilty, like I should be bringing more things.
You should.
Yeah.
You should feel immense guilt because the rest of us are slaving and being thoughtful.
Well, speaking of that,
Chumbawambaing.
Yeah. You mentioned Mousegate, but speaking of slaving away, when you guys arrived, Lindsay rounded the corner and her eyes were wide.
I was at a 10. I was at a full 10. I was at a full 10 out of 10.
Lindsay said, Focaccia Gate 2024.
I honestly, I came off the top rope. I was full blown. Like, I'm going to tell you what happened.
Okay, please do.
So
you guys know Brandon's been making focaccia.
I've been on a bread journey.
Yeah.
And so Mom says to me, she says, bring a focaccia to the meal, she says.
Yeah.
And I says, okay, I've got a 100% success rate on my focaccia. I'm Mr. Consistent with my focaccia. And so I'm like, I got this, no problem. But just to be sure and hedge my bets, I got a little bit of extra ingredients. Okay. So the rest time on a focaccia is hour to an hour and a half, and then you transfer it to its baking sheet, and then you let it rest for another 45 minutes, and you bake it for 20 to 30 minutes. I only have one baking sheet that's the right size. So I'm like, I'm going to make a focaccia in there. But then I'm going to try my hand at making like some focaccia, like muffins, like in a muffin tin. Just divide the dough up in that. Yeah. I don't know my cook times, whatever. I put them both in after they've risen, and we're getting right down to the wire when it's time to leave. And I've got my backup focaccia sitting there on its first rise. I'm baking these, and I don't know how to time out the muffins with the regular focaccia. Long story short, the regular focaccia gets burned on the bottom. And in a fit of rage, I threw the entire thing into the garbage can, into the bin with it.
Did you not have sliced off the very bottom?
I would not do that on Thanksgiving of all days.
Okay.
A burned focaccia?
And to be fair, this was our first time to try the focaccia.
And I've never made it for anyone outside the house, and I'm not going to I'm not going to lead off with garbage. I need this to be my tub thumping. Is what I need this focaccia to be. Okay? Yeah. I need to be remembered for it. So, in a fit of rage, I throw the focaccia in the trash, and I say, I'm making another one. And I get on the second rise, and I get it in there. And long story short, it bakes up until literally 1 minute before we have to leave. And then I'm transferring the focaccia, and I say, saddle up, partners, it's time. And we go, and we got it done. I got all my ingredients. I roasted the tomatoes and did the confit garlic and the rosemary and the whole thing, which, by the way, I had to go on a citywide search for rosemary the day before because no one had it. So I went to like 4 different stores.
Popular Thanksgiving herb.
Right. And so, but we were able to get there, and I cooled out, but I blacked out for about 30 minutes. And I don't know what I did or said, but it was in a fugue state, just standing in front of the oven, staring at it, trying to will this bread into existence. Meanwhile, there's just still a steaming burnt focaccia in the trash can over here. I'm trying to scrape muffins out the tin. It's but we got it done.
You got it done, and I must say, it was wonderful. And I'm not just over buttering your focaccia when I say that.
Awesome.
It was delicious. I love focaccia when there's stuff in it, like the garlic, the tomatoes, the rosemary. I mean, It was delicious. I just had some for lunch, actually.
Did you really?
A couple pieces
Has it held up okay? Like in the days since? Okay, good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Listen. I loved that it baked right up until you came because it was still warm. The bottom was toasty.
It had the crusty. See, that's the thing. I wasn't gonna bring. I wasn't gonna bring a garbage focaccia. I needed to bring you a tub thumper of a focaccia.
And you did it.
Okay, I feel good about. I felt good about it once it got done, but it's true. I literally was outside of myself for about a half hour.
Which is so funny because no one would have cared. Even if you had just said, guys, I am so sorry. I cut this burn part off. Here's the muffins. I'll make you another one. And no one would have cared one single bit because you know what we wanted to be there? You.
I left an entire loaf of gourmet bread for the mice in the pantry. It's what I did. They had a feast. Remy and the gang had a feast. And here we are.
Well, it was truly, truly delicious, and the whole meal was delicious. As I say, we changed it up just a little bit this year, which is always risky when you're involved because you love a tradition.
I do.
Good Lord, do you love a tradition?
I do.
And I feel like the turkey was good because I'm not a fan of turkey. I say it every year. Roast turkey is not my it is not my tub thumping meat.
It's not. That's the title.
No.
Roast turkey is not my tub thumping meat. Out of context. That's so good.
It's not my number one because, a lot can go wrong with a turkey.
It can dry out pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I just don't like the flavor. I love a smoked turkey on a sandwich.
Well, sure,
like
that's a different that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
It's deli meat.
I know. But this year I felt like, and the turkeys, it's always good. It's just not my favorite. And so this year though, I felt like Mom did some different stuff to it. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I put a bunch of citrus inside of it and a bunch of, I don't know what all she put in there, but it was good."
Well, yeah. I mean, I ate. I did like seconds and thirds, and my initial plate was not. It was. It was disgraceful.
Here's what you kept doing after dinner, which was delicious again. I mean, such a yummy meal. After dinner, we got to go out on the porch, which is Mom's favorite thing. She lives to sit outside. Mm-hmm. She made a fire in the outdoor fireplace, and we all moved out there, had a little vino, and just chatted the night away. But every time you went into the house, you would come back out with a fistful of turkey.
Yeah.
And a fistful of summer sausage. And I sat and watched you for hours.
Yeah.
Take a bite of turkey and a slice of summer sausage and put it on there like a cracker.
Yeah.
And then you'd eat it and you go, "It's turkey sausage."
It's turkey sausage. I heard that this was healthier. I heard that if you get turkey sausage, it's heart healthy. I'm having a red wine for the antioxidants, and I'm having a turkey sausage stacker. That's what I do.
That's what you did.
I stack turkey on top of when you do we used to, shout out to Josh, when we used to do sandwiches for a living, when we didn't want to eat full sandwiches, what we would do is we would take a hunk of meat and then stack it with another hunk of meat as just like a on the go snack. And one day he just started calling them honkers. He was like, "Dude, I'm starving. I need to go get a quick honker." And he just comes walking back with some roast beef and turkey, and henceforth, anytime it's just a handful of meat, it's just called just a honker.
Well, you ate honkers for hours.
Oh, I was honking. I was thumping and I was honking.
There wasn't much turkey left when it came time to box up the leftovers.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You had put it away. Did you sleep like a baby that night from all the tryptophan? I was
tryptophan, and well, but here's the thing.
Tryptophan grilling.
I slept great, but I was able to stay up later. It's something about the sausage that counteracts the turkey. It keeps you going when you want to tryptophan, but it's
the nitrates.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't want to get overly scientific with you, but when you mix the nitrates with the tryptophan, you're basically an unstoppable force of productivity, creativity, power. You can do it all. Just give me an entire log of summer sausage and some dark meat, and send me out. I'll fix it. Whatever it is, I got it.
Another thing I loved about that night is, as I say, you guys always sing happy birthday to me. I have to say, this year, I don't know if it's because my boys are getting older and they're joining in to the happy birthday chorus, but I feel like the level of harmonies this year, I don't know. Harrison's a bass. He's a baritone now. And we got Asher. He's in the choir at school. I feel like were we working with some 3 and 4 part harmony?
I didn't
in
even
the
sing.
Happy birthday?
I didn't even sing because I had a mouthful of turkey sausage at the time.
Probably. You were still coming down from Fakasha Gate at that point.
I was still in my fugue state. I was still blacked out.
But you did get me a beautiful birthday card.
I did.
And it seems you were in charge of purchasing it.
I was.
And it had horses on it.
All over it.
And they were kind of
a whole gaggle of them. That's what horses are called when they're together, right?
They looked like merry-go-round horses.
Yeah, they were whimsical.
And side, you just said, because you love horses so much.
That's true. You won't shut up about horses. Every time.
I do love horses, but what in the world?
One time I asked you, like, if you wanted to own a horse, and your response was, can you ever really own a horse? It's you. No, here's the.
You love them.
I do too. They're amazing. Here's the thing. Here's why I got you the card. Because I was at the grocery store, limited supply of cards. Sure. And I'm standing there with another dude who's been harangued into getting a card for a sibling, probably. And we're doing this, like, the weird dance of, like, I'm going to look, and then I'll be like, oh, no, you go ahead.
I hate that.
Because it's like, I'm not going to just grab a card. I need to get one. And then you look at the ones that are funny, and then it's like they're all trying too hard to be funny. It'll be like, happy birthday, Dad. And then you open it, and it's like, like it's all.
Why are they always about toots for dads?
Here's the title of the episode: Dads Be Farting.
No.
No. But so I like look at the funny ones. And I'm like, these are stupid. And then it's ones that are like, you're no spring chicken. You're a gross old broad, or just whatever. And it's like, right?
Yeah.
But so I looked, and then I saw this one. And I saw the horses on the front, and they were like merry-go-round horses, very whimsical, chock full of whimsy, this card. And so then I open it, and it has the longest, most sentimental message in it ever. And I was like, this
2 pages worth.
I was like, this very earnest card is funnier than anything funny on this rack.
Yeah.
I'm buying 2.
So you're getting it again next year.
Every year for the rest of your life.
Listen, I hope from now on you get me horse cards.
Done. Because there's no shortage of them.
Because you love horses so much.
That's why. It's because you love them so much. It's because you graduated to the next class in equestrian and I didn't.
That's true.
Me
Go back
here,
and listen.
just
Several guys.
Sad little chubby Brandon in his riding helmet. Just sitting here in the corral.
On the merry-go-round.
Sitting on the merry-go-round because that's where they demoted me to. He can't hurt himself on this, surely. Does. Turns around and does it.
Little do they know.
Sent him to the infirmary. He broke his collarbone on the merry-go-round horses.
Oh, listen. Well, as I say, we're here today. We're going to come home tomorrow because it is Thanksgiving week. And then Thursday, we'll go to Stillwater to have Thanksgiving on the actual day with Jeff's parents. Mm-hmm. And I think Mom and Dad are going to join us again for that. What does your Thanksgiving day look like?
We're going to Nelson and Donna's house to have a delicious feast. Mm-hmm, delicious feast there. Gotta say, Nelson makes a mean Thanksgiving meal. He's pretty good.
Is he going traditional this year?
He always goes traditional on Thanksgiving.
Turkey lurkey, okay.
Turkey lurkey, yes. That's what he says. He says it. He sings that under his breath while he makes it. Turkey lurkey, turkey. But no, it's always very delicious. And then, as is tradition, I sit with my leftovers on Thanksgiving night and I watch Home Alone. And that's when my Christmas movies begin.
As I say, we've started ours a little bit early. So we actually watched Home Alone last night. Asher,
Too early.
Well, okay, but listen, I told you why. It's because Jeff's going to be gone for part of the Christmas season. And so we're celebrating. Okay.
Too early for Home Alone.
Do you think Jeff should be shortchanged on Home Alone then?
No, you should watch it later in the season. Home Alone, you should have picked something.
It's usually the first one we watch.
Well, then he should miss out.
Everyone has their own traditions, Brandon.
No, there's one right way to do this. There's one right way and a million wrong ones.
Okay.
And you are one of those million wrong ones.
Well, we watched it last night. Asher picked, Jeff was thinking of a number between 1 and 10, and Asher got closer, so he got to choose. Hope gets to choose tonight. She has chosen Christmas Vacation.
God, you're burning 2 big ones early.
Because we have to, Brandon. Are you listening?
I disagree with everything about you right now.
Okay, it is so cold.
How cold is it?
Not right now. Yesterday was so cold.
How cold was it?
We got to the house and we walked in and Harrison literally did not stop walking. walked in the door, dropped his things, walked out, got the fishing pole, went down, had a bass on the line within 5 minutes. And that has nothing to do with how cold it is.
Yeah,
except
I feel
for
like
this.
I feel like you tied two things together. You conflated these two things.
Except for this. It's the only fish he's caught so far. It's too cold for them.
Again, he did what you did. He came right out of the gates way too hot, like you did with Home Alone, like Chumbawamba did with Tubthumping. He came out of the gates real hot, caught you a delicious bass, and now there's all downhill from here.
Yeah, no more fish to be had. But I do think as Harrison gets older, he's 16 now. I do think I'm seeing that this one is going to have the Renaud's.
Well,
I see it in him.
He's lanky. He's like long.
I see the dark gift. The dark. Do we call it a dark gift?
I don't call it a gift at all.
The thorn in the side. If we're going to go biblical,
it's pretty awful. But yeah,
I think he's got it.
He's built like a Reynolds haver.
Yeah, he's built like us. And I looked down there earlier. He was down on the dock and he had on one fishing glove. He had purchased himself some fishing gloves. Bless him.
Sure.
But he lost one. So he had one fishing glove and one sock.
Sure. You make it see, that's the deal though. You make it work
it's like you with your hot hands.
You make it work however you can. Cobble it together.
I wonder how many Raynaud sufferers moms get them hot hands in their stockings like ours does.
Dude, I have so many, and it's so funny because I have more than I can deal with. But Mom just the other day gave me another just like heaping handful that she just dropped on me. Like
you need them.
I do. The other day when I was KonMariing my office, I did it in fingerless gloves with hot hands inside of the gloves indoors at my own home.
I've gotten Raynaud's attacks so much lately.
It's the worst.
I know. But I do think Harrison's coming down with it. And I actually got on Amazon and I was like, okay, what is happening for Black Friday that I might get this boy for his stocking? The hand warmers, both disposable and chargeable. Mm-hmm. They do have little heaters. I thought, well, maybe we could think about a little heater down there on the dock that he could sit in front of, or I don't know. Welcome to this life, my son.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Welcome to the rest of your life. It's the worst.
It's the worst.
We're at 52 minutes, by the way.
Okay, thank you. How is your algorithm?
It's a lot of Wicked, which is crazy because I don't seek this out.
Yeah. It's having a moment.
I want to see it, but I don't want to see it now because I want to hear Ariana Grande sing. I don't want to hear the repressed theater gal who's been waiting on this movie to come out belting her part right into my ear on this side. I don't need that.
That's what I'm hearing, that it might be good
Stay out of there.
Wait a few.
Stay out of there.
Let the theater kids see it first.
Clear them out. They've staked their claim and they can have it. And I'll tell you why, because I don't want to deal with it. They should have two separate settings. You should have a sing-along setting and a regular, like a showing.
I heard they're going to do a sing-along version.
God, can we talk about the seventh circle for this guy? Just hanging out in the Wicked sing-along. I don't know the words to defying gravity. Is this the channel with one?
In costume.
Oh gosh, I'll just go like a monkey.
I'm so excited. We have tickets to go on Sunday, so I'm hoping there will be enough time that's passed.
It's going to be terrible. You've signed it. You're in the vortex right now. You're in it. Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's like soon. 9 days later.
No, yeah, but you're gonna catch Gabby on her third viewing, and she's gonna know all the beats, and so it's gonna be the Gabby show.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, I've got a lot of Wicked in mind too.
Yeah.
I also have Dogs Afraid of Cats.
Sure. Which that's unnatural. Dads
shaving beards and terrifying their children, like just walking in after having a beard their whole life. And I've got several of those. I also have been getting a lot of Golden Girls for some reason.
No, there doesn't need to be a reason.
Oh, sure. You probably know this because you know everything entertainment, but according to 80s Girls, which is one of my favorite Instagram accounts to follow, how old were the Golden Girls?
Oh, they were not that old.
So Dorothy, played by B. Arthur, was supposed to be 54. Mm-hmm. B. Arthur was 63. Mm-hmm. So she was playing younger. Rose, played by Betty White, was supposed to be 55. Betty was 63, also playing younger. Blanche, played by Rue McClanahan, was supposed to be 53. Rue was 51.
Yeah.
Very disheartening.
And
Sponsor us, Rue
wasn't
McClanahan.
Getty the youngest one?
Yes, and Sophia, no, she wasn't the youngest, but she was played by Estelle Getty, was supposed to be 80. She was 62.
Yeah. Getty.
Younger than Betty White.
Listen, I did know that. I did know that she was much younger than she played.
Okay, what you been watching, reading, or listening to?
Harry Potter.
Yeah. That's it.
And podcasts about songs. I listened to a podcast about Missy Elliott the other day.
Ah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, she'd probably be on my playlist as well.
She's great.
Station.
All right. What about you?
Yeah. Gosh, we've really been enjoying AP Bio. We've been doing more of that. That's kind of our fall asleep. I will say the other night, though, years ago, we went through the Game of Thrones universe, right? And it was kind of one we had to power through. We got into it, and it was like, we gotta finish this. We started, is it House of Dragons?
Yeah, I've seen like an episode. I didn't like really commit to it. I need to, but I didn't.
Well, we tried, and I don't know if we're willing to go down that path again. I don't know if I have the fortitude. I don't think I do. Because I'll tell you who has it rough in that universe, women. Women have it rough, even though they're running everything.
Here's the thing that you don't understand about women. If
I
could mansplain something to you real quick.
Please tell me.
Can I tell you about what it feels like? Because here's the thing. The best thing about being a woman.
Okay. Nice. Let's go, girls.
Oh, God, so good.
Anyway, what's your warm heart?
Family Thanksgiving. Boom.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy.
Same. This time of year, it's just the best for all the opportunities it provides to hang with family and friends. Yeah, totally. And just very sweet, very grateful. That's an easy one. Cool. Well, guys, we're super grateful for you and happy Thanksgiving. I'm moderately grateful for you. Okay. All right, guys. No, them I'm insanely grateful for. You. Oh, just me. Okay. Anyway, bye. Bye.